It's the final round of the AFLW home and away season, and what an opening half of footy we have here at Casey Fields. The D's controlling all the play in that opening quarter, but the Blues hitting back in the second with 4 goals, and at the main break it is the D's leading by the Blues by 2 points. Scores are 4-3, 27 to 4-1, 25. Abby Holmes here alongside Joe Watton and Nathan Jones. Jonesy, let's dissect that opening half of footy because it really was a tale of 2 quarters, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Melbourne opened the game dominating. I think a lot of their scores came off the back of turnover and their slick movement to score. And then we saw the tide turn in that second quarter. Carlton, for doing a lot of good things around the contest in the first quarter, started to get some reward for effort in the second, and was surging the ball, winning contests, winning clearance and scoring off the back of it, and now we have a game.
Yeah, Mimi Hill looked so damaging through that, I guess, centre-half forward line, didn't she, Joe? But Taylor Harris, just 3 disposals, 2 marks, 1 behind, so you would say that Trudgeon's doing her job so far.
Yeah, particularly in that second term. I thought early she was a good target, took a great contested mark, but really dropped away from the game in that second term.
Well, we know with Taylor Harris as well that if she's given the time and space and the aerial opportunity to attack it, she's so strong. She's got super, super long arms, and once she puts them up in front of her defender, she's very, very hard to stop. But we're going to take a look at our Amy Reliable player to half-time, and it is none other than Lily Mithen. We spoke about her in that second quarter and about the consistent season that she's putting together across the 2022 competition. But she's once again doing it in that first half. 9 disposals, 5 handball receives, 2 inside 50s. Nathan Jones, she's just one of those players that you want in your side.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a real architect. Having watched her this season, when she gets the footy, she's always a part of the chain, the ball movement chain. And again tonight, with her overlap handball and her piercing little kicks, yeah, she's imperative to their ball movement.
And just, I guess, the depth of this Melbourne midfield as well. As we know, Eden Zanker isn't out there. She had quad soreness throughout the week, so she's missing from that midfield tonight. But they've just got so much depth, don't they? So many options to go through there should they need be. But as we know, Melbourne need to win here tonight, and they need to win in a big way if they are to lock down that top spot. They're currently sitting there as we take a look at the live ladder. Adelaide, of course, to play St Kilda tomorrow. So you would think that Melbourne are really going to have to put their foot down in this second half if they're to have the opportunity to take that top spot, isn't it, Joe?
Well, we sort of talked through the broadcast already at quarter time by how much could they win by, trying to secure that top spot. But if they lose and results and Brisbane win tomorrow, Brisbane could take their second spot. So suddenly you've just got to focus on winning the game.
And it's so important, isn't it? Because we know the top side has the opportunity to host a grand final. So 1 and 2 will have next weekend off, and then they'll go straight through to a preliminary final and have the opportunity to host a grand final. But it is the D's here tonight, leading the Blues by 2 points at the main break. Do not go anywhere. A huge second half to come.
I love playing as a defender. I embrace the role. There's a lot of banter that goes on, within Carlton, the defensive line. We self-proclaimed, the superstars of our team. That level of sacrifice that you've got to have for your own game, for the better of the team, is something that I take great pride in. As much as, you probably won't get your name up in lights or your face on the front of the paper, it doesn't really seem to bother us too much. And, we certainly hype each other up, that's for sure, and get around and celebrate each other.
Phillips, worn like a second skin by Harrington.
There's always going to be goals kicked against you. So as soon as you accept that, and the fact that you're not going to win every time, for us, it's the small wins that we can take, and the amount of goals that we can stop versus the amount that we give away is something that we measure ourselves on. It's the spoils, it's the tackles, it's the the amount of stoppages that we can force inside the forward 50 and those sort of things that we take a lot of pride in. You're never going to stop them all, so you just fight and hang on and do the best that you possibly can.
And the Crows make the Blues pay.
was something that I wanted last year. I spoke with Huff and the coaching staff about getting and freeing myself up a little bit to push up the ground and I guess use my own running capacity to benefit the team, and I really enjoyed that challenge. I guess as a defender, you've got two options. You can either push and attack, but you've got to be really quick and be aware to get back, and the higher up the ground you go, the further that you've got to get back. So it's a real balancing act. How much we can get run and carry off the back line is going to go a long way to determine, how successful we are as a team.
By 2 points. It is an absolute cracker so far. Chemist Warehouse injury update for you. We've been keeping an eye on Liv Purcell. Her left shoulder had a bit of a niggle after this hit off the ball, but she's doing well and she'll be back out there in the second half, which is great news. And Abs, as we get back up to you, Mick Stinier's message to his team, he thinks they can do a lot better than that, and he wants them to push even harder. Back to the basics, more energy in every contest. So love to see how this is going to play out in the second half, because we know how critical this win is to the Ds, and how good does Casey Fields look at night? How good does Casey Fields look at night? This would be, I reckon. What do you think? We know how important this win is to the Melbourne Demons, and we can't wait to see how the second half plays out.
So the second half, moments away.
Jonesy, Em just touched on Mick Stinier's, messages at half-time. What do you reckon Daniel Harford would have said to his side?
Oh, he would have loved the response, and encouraged them to keep driving in. They got the reward, which we've touched on, and now they'd want to build on that. I think they've built some confidence and energy, and now I reckon there's some belief. Hey, we might be able to knock them off here.
Well, this is going to be it for Carlton. They've just got a half remaining in their season and can play almost freely in a sense, whereas Melbourne, the top spot is up for grabs, or they could fall as low as third. But Bannon picks up where she left off in that first half. She kicked 3 goals. And this one may be beyond her. Goes for distance over the back. It trickles past McAvoy.
We just saw her point to the goals there. She was going to back herself in. She knows that there's a breeze behind her back here at Casey Field. She's kicked 3 to half-time. Why not, Jo?
Why not have another go?
Why not?
Maybe she's going for Daisy's record from last week. Well, as we've seen across that first half, this appears to be the scoring end, as that ball goes higher than it goes further. The umpire lets it go though. West found a little hand pass off, trying to do a little bit too much though, Hawke. And a little bit of chat there too. I think some of the Blues players letting her know about it. Shearer comes out wide though. It's out of bounds on the full, so it's going to be turned over.
It's going to be interesting to see what Carlton do defensively, isn't it? Because as we saw with the Ds, they put Daisy behind the ball just to try and stem the flow. We know that a lot of scores happen down this end of the ground with that wind, so it's going to be pivotal for Carlton to really nullify any scoring opportunities for the Ds.
Dalpos, little hand pass off, and the clearing kick for Sparkus will have to fly against 3. Does. Vesio at ground level hasn't really come into the game yet. Vesio. Little tap over the top by Good. Goldrick has her by the arm. Goldrick able to get boots of ball. Hasn't gone enough distance. Surely that's fronts on contact on Gearan by Mithen. Umpire let it go. Pearce. Lauren Pearce in the middle of Casey Fields. Goes forward. And the numbers all with the Blues. And let's see how they move the footy in this term. Jones just holds up the footy universal sign for let's just settle it down. I want to spot up a target here. She's told to go and goes short. Mark Spilt gives the Ds a chance. Back inside 50. Laloifi off her shins. Hand pass back to Pound. Good shepherd by Laloifi. And just looking for players to run onto it. It's Jones. Tackled by 3, but able to get the hand pass off to Walker. But again, no targets for them. And the Ds can repel. A quick hand pass comes out wide, and Paxman just loads up.
I think Carlton have gone with what you suggested before, Ab, with a spare behind the footy, and they've been able to mop it up a couple of times. So it would be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah, McAvoy a couple of times back there, almost goalkeeper. Ball now in the arms of Egan. Wants to get around Pearce and can't. Well done by the ruck. Now dives on the footy. Egan dives on her, and good work. Perhaps undone a little bit. Now she's pinged for holding it. Egan will get another go at it. We see here, good smother, use those long arms. Egan, well, it's calmer on calmer here because that one's a shocker. She's got a look, right smile on her face. I'd love to have that one back. Mithen sets sail up towards half forward. Prasparkas tried to get through a couple, able to get rid of the footy, even though she was tackled to the deck. Pearce goes to ground. Strong tackling over the top by O'Day.
Big night for Elise O'Day coming up against her old side for the first time as well. She's been at the Blues for a number of years now, but these two sides haven't played each other since 2020, so a big night for her indeed.
At half forward, ball in dispute. Trying to wrench it out of them, doing so successfully in the end. Jones and West battling hard at it. West now climbs up with the footy, has Prasparkas for company. It trickles out the back towards Walker. Got a little toe onto it. Good body work there against Paxman. That doesn't happen too often with Paxi. Went without the footy though, Jones, but the umpires found a free kick for too high. And through McKay. The Blues go wide. Where to now? This has been the problem for part of the night, particularly when going in this direction. Stevens has kicked a couple. On the left, just gets it inboard. O'Day, a little spin, a little hand pass off towards Good. Inside 50 they go.
Same thing keeps happening at each end. It's like goalkeeper to goalkeeper.
Colvin, she spilt it though. Under pressure now with the kick. Pearce up towards Paxman to Hanks. And the umpires found it hold for off the ball, so it'll be progressed 50 metres. And it's going back to Paxman.
How good is Lauren Pearce at ground level as well? You know, she's the number one, I guess, ground ball gets player in this Melbourne side, which for a big lady, you know, a great athlete, it takes her a bit more than anyone else to get down at ground level, but she's just so clean behind, below the knees.
Paxman for disposal, number 10. A little worm burner, gave Hoare a bit to do. Pounds trying to attack the footy horse. Slung to the deck by Dalpos. And the ball's not going anywhere. So you think too, if that's a scoring end, the Blues would be pretty happy to almost run time off the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why they've gone with the spare behind the footy, just to see if they can just soak it up rather than be scored against heavily and then be chasing again.
Moody's done the tackling work on West and won herself the free kick for holding the footy. We haven't seen a Moody bounce tonight, but she's known as one of the highest bouncers in the competition, which you often don't say about someone playing in the ruck. On the wing, Gearan trying to put a bit of pressure on. O'Day can go to Prasparkas, does. Hand pass is hot through Prasparkas' fingers. Under pressure now from Colvin. McNamara able to pick her pocket. A little hand pass from Jones. Hill off to Gearan. Inside 50, it'll carry over the head of Good. Good and Birch, the race is on. Birch went for Good and then went back to get the footy. Has support with Goldrick. That tackle from Egan did slip a little high. Umpire unsighted. Hill charging in on the footy. Gearan just got rid of Colvin. That was a little untidy. I think more shoulder than head.
Yeah.
I love their composure in that last passage of play. They really thought their way through it and force Melbourne's defenders to come up and defend, and they end up transitioning the ball from centre wing inside 50.
Paxman looked up to Harris. Has gone a little quiet since the opening moments. Up on the wing. They've won the footy back, the Blues, through Gearan. Just went for space. Wants her players to run onto it. McKay kept her feet initially. Stevens under pressure. Colvin has company. Hand pass out wide to Birch. The Melbourne defenders under plenty of pressure. But an untidy tackle from McKay, and Birch has won the free kick for a push in the back.
Just having a look at Maddie Prespakis as well. She doesn't look to be moving overly comfortable. So, Emma Vosti, do you have an update or any eyes on Prespakis from ground level?
Yeah, we're watching her down here now, guys. She's still recovering from that big knock on the wing. She's had her head down in between her legs, just taking big, slow, deep breaths. So it takes a lot to hit Maddie down, and she is a strong, strong woman. And look at that. She really got taken to the ground, and she's still taking her time to recover on the bench.
Almost like an NRL cruncher tackle, that one. As Melbourne through Paxman. They load up to go inside 50. Two bites. Could have been front on contact by Daisy Pearce. She got away with it and then got around Lalawifi. No, Lalawifi, what a wonderful second effort.
Well done, Lalawifi. She's one of my favourite defenders in the competition to watch. Just her second and third efforts. Daisy stepped her there, but she never gave up. It was a brilliant tackle.
I'm not sure if that was a grimace or a little wry smile by Daisy Pearce, having been thought she was through, but then got done. Trudgeon looks out wide. Once Shera's got too much on it, and good work by Plain. I think she might have got a hand to it, so it'll be thrown in.
How have we seen the ruck battle tonight as well? As we know, Bree Moody and Lauren Pearce coming in. They're two of the premier rucks in the competition, two All-Australian rucks in the past, but they're so good. As I said earlier, with Lauren Pearce at ground level, they're phenomenal athletes, and those two going head-to-head, Jonesy, they've pretty much nullified each other in the contest.
Absolutely, I was thinking the same thing. I think it's a 0-0 draw at the minute. They've just both, I think they've both done some good things. But yeah, it's going to be a pivotal battle as this game unfolds, I think. Obviously, Carlton are doing really well with their intensity around the contest and around stoppages, but we're going to need a lift from Lauren and that midfield depth of Melbourne for them to really gain ascendancy and kick away.
There goes Moody trying to put the tackle on Colvin. She's quick, Moody, but not quick enough. Paxman immediately under pressure when she couldn't gather cleanly.
How good is that, though? Just the intensity at the contest from those Carlton defenders. Darcy Vesio in there. It was a 3-on-1. They're just hunting in numbers, these Blues. They haven't conceded a point in this third term. Half will be happy with that.
Yeah, we've just ticked over 10 minutes. And Vesio's won the footy, just bends it round the corner. Oh, fantastic mark by Heath. Looks up, eyes darting. Goes for distance. Oh, huge fly by Harris. Couldn't come down with it. Nathan tackled into the deck. And then the home fans getting a little rowdy here, Jonesy, at Casey Fields.
Yeah, well, you'll find that out here. They're passionate.
The tap comes down in front. McKay trying to come away with it. Hand pass only as far as Sheriff, but O'Day's been able to emerge with the footy. Quickly on the boot. A lucky bounce.
G.
And G, she's quick. If she can get the bounce. Colvin's pretty quick too, so is Heath there in her back pocket. Heath just got rid of it. Coming back on it, G and Prespakis. Wonderful pressure by the Blues. And a little, I want to say a love tap there by, was it Gearin or G? But Gay really felt that one. But in the end, Jones has got the footy. A couple of kicks from goal. Decides just to load up, wants a flight. Moody is there at ground level. Birch under pressure. Stevens got a toe to it again. But Paxman able to clear the footy. Out towards Pearce. Has support. Taps it forward to Bannon. Plain has her hand pass smothered. Goes back in for a second effort. Will need to go a third time as Scott has wrapped her up. Tackled by Vesio. But Goldrick emerges with the footy. Takes a bounce, under pressure. Hand pass off to Bannon. She goes inside towards Harris, gets around a couple. Sees nothing between her and the goal square. But it's offline.
I don't think Taylor's done much wrong tonight, other than be just starved of opportunity, really. They haven't been able to get the flow on the ball and for her to be in the right spot and be used enough.
Yeah, I think defensively both sides are holding up really well, aren't they? You know, no points, no behind scored in this third term, and a lot of the play has been through the centre of the ground.
Moody tries to retrieve her own footy. O'Day. She's really come into the game in this second half. McNamara flung out of it. And Purcell does the tackling to enforce the stoppage. So late stages of this third term. The Blues have done well to hold the D's out till this stage. Hank's little kick inside Mithen, under pressure from O'Day, illegal pressure, that front-on contact.
She got it in and out. Did he kick on from here?
We know that there's a breeze behind her, but I don't think she does. As you can see from her eyes darting there, she'll look to hit a target.
Disposal number 14, and what a ripper it is to Daisy Pearce.
Who else other than Daisy Pearce? She just plays that full forward role so incredibly well. She reads the footy so well, doesn't she? Just the timing of the lead, the body work on her opponent, just to get that half a metre in front of Lalawifi. We saw her kick a goal from this exact spot in the opening quarter. She'll keep it low, she's smart.
So this to stretch the margin, it would be the first score on the third term, and she snuck it home. Daisy's got a couple.
Daisy's kicked the vital captain's goal there, no doubt about it. But what I loved Lily just understanding her limitations and then just absolutely kicking a pinpoint laser to Daisy. It was just a brilliant piece of play, and obviously sets up a vital goal and one the D's needed.
So they got the margin back out to 8 points. Here is Mithen again. Just throws it on the boot this time. No mark taken. In dispute. A hot hand pass. Finds Shearer. She kicks it back the other way. Important last minute here. The Blues definitely won't want to let the D's get another late one. And standing in the right spot at the right time. Mark being able to take him by Harrington. She looks up. Decides to use the outer ground of Casey Fields. Was looking for Egan. Has Lampard in her pocket. Needs to get around Sheriff now. Goes towards G. Up toward the forward line. Moody tries to put some pressure on Hanks. Hanks' little pass over the top. She'll get it back. But Egan saw it coming. Mithen finds West on the left. I'd love a mark. Pearce has got 2 to beat. Charging out to it was Harrington. Able to stop the thrust. And at three-quarter time, it's the D's who still hold the lead. They're 5-3, 33. Carlton 4-1, 25. But they're not having it all their own way, the D's. And Carlton will be kicking to the scoring end in this last term.
Huge final quarter coming your way from Casey Fields. The D's holding a slight 8-point advantage at the final break. Carlton's intensity and pressure lifted across that third term. And what a result it would be if they could come home with the wind and steal victory here tonight. Elisa Bannon has been sensational for the D's. She's got 3, and at three-quarter time it is the D's 5-3-33 to Carlton 4-1-25. Daniel Harford will be very pleased with his side's effort so far this evening. Emma Vosti, you're standing by with the man himself.
Well, yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts, because if you ask for intensity, well, they're giving it to you tonight, aren't they? What a way to round out the season with a match like this.
Just really pleased that our players get a chance to play against a really good footy team. We've got a lot in front of them and match it with them. Just really proud of the effort so far. 3 quarters is no good to me, though. Might as well finish with the 4th.
Well, as a coach, what do you say to your players as they're about to play their last quarter of footy in the 2022 season?
I want them to get what they can out of the game. We've deserved the right to be contending for these 4 points, put ourselves in position. Hopefully they get it in the last quarter.
Oh, hopefully you all get it. Well done on this year, and we're holding our breath as we wait for this last quarter.
Go Baggers.
Thanks, Harv.
Go Baggers indeed, says Daniel Harford. But Nathan Jones in commentary tonight. What do you need to see from both sides out there in the 4th quarter for them to come away with victory?
Oh, I'd love to see the D's just regroup and get back to real fundamentals. They'd want to just finish the quarter really strongly. Obviously, they've got a lot to play for, a lot ahead of them, and to just be executing their game plan as efficiently and as well as they can. As for Carlton, it's like, can we just build on what we've done tonight? We've had an amazing crack at a top 1, 2, 3 side, and we've matched it with them as we just heard from half. And now, can they play the fourth quarter out?
Well, you mentioned top 1, 2 or 3 side. It remains to be seen, really, and a lot will ride on this last term, and Carlton will have a big say in that. I did blood half it in the shorts. I mean, it's not Clarkson in the snow at Canberra, but it's pretty chilly here at Casey Fields. So 1 quarter to go for the Blues as Melbourne lead into a final series. Where will they finish? Hill has her kick partially smothered. West cracks in with Prespakis. Prespakis went down in that third with a niggle, but able to play on, and now she's won the free kick, being held after she got rid of it.
That was textbook from Maddie Prespakis, wasn't it? Just got low at the contest, turned the body, braced for contact, and won herself a free kick.
West stole the hand pass from Egan. Under pressure, though, from Gearin. A little clearing kick. Laloifi, a little tap to Moody. Cleverly done. Throws it inside 50. And leading back on the footy, but unable to take the mark, was Vesio. In dispute, Hanks under pressure. Gets a hand pass off to West. Knew Paxman was there. Her kick, though, a little shaky off the boot. And McKay at ground level. Under pressure, though, unable to get rid of it. Well, she does in the end. She somehow shuffles it out. Mithen leads in the race. Under pressure, though, from Prespakis. Just toe poking it to herself. Now Moody comes in. She might do the same. Overruns a little. Laloifi flies through with a hand pass. Pound in there. Back to Prespakis. Gearin. Little jumper tug. Goes back in and gets it. And finally a little clearing kick. Only as far as Pearce, though. Couldn't reel it in on the first bite. Will be under pressure with the tackle from Hill. Got rid of it. And Gay went with the kick. Pearce playing in front takes the mark. They're streaming back. She has to go sideways while she waits for the forwards to set up. Goes to Paxman. And through Heath, perhaps now they can go more direct, although her kick's a little worm burner. West, a little hand pass off inside. Gay has her kick smothered. McAvoy to O'Day, and the clearing kick read best by Pearce. And she quickly spots up that target. She wanted Hawke, carried over her head. Harris went for Paxman, didn't quite hit her with the hand pass. Paxman again tries to get through Hill. She'll need to get rid of it cleanly and doesn't. And Hill will win the free kick. Frantic opening couple of minutes here at Casey Fields, the final term.
And we spoke pre-game about the blueprint in how to beat Melbourne. Have a look at the tackle count, 71 to 56. What Adelaide did in round 4 was just bring that relentless tackle pressure to the Ds, which of course, I guess, removed that slick ball movement that we're so accustomed to seeing from them, and they lost their structure. And it's been very impressive to watch Carlton in this first 3 terms, but they need to carry that through to the final siren.
Stevens just went for space. Goldrick bends it back round the corner. Finds Colvin. The kick inboard is okay. Would have been a downfield free kick anyway towards Hanks. Hanks goes short. Finds West. Goes to Mithen. There's a little run up towards Pearce, a little too much on it. And Harrington fires a little hand pass out. Walker tried the toe poke, overran it. Gave a little time for the Ds to go back inside 50. Under pressure is Trudgeon, and she's won the free kick for too high.
That blueprint you spoke of, Ab, teams are going to go to work through the final series on that, and I think the Ds are going to have to address that. Obviously not right now. I think Mick would have given pretty clear instructions that he wants a real lift in intensity, but they're going to have to find a way as teams come after them and try and dismantle them around the footy. Can they cope with that pressure?
Yeah. Harris charged at the footy, couldn't come down with the mark. McAvoy, seemingly the spare defender for most of the night. Vesio tries to shake the tackle of Goldrick, can't. Flung to the deck without it, the umpire agrees. So Vesio has just had the 4 touches tonight. Hasn't troubled the scorers, but this is a worm burner inside for Moody. She picks it off the deck, can't get rid of it cleanly. And he's pinged. Good defensive work by Colvin.
And you speak of that intensity as well, Jonesy, but you look at the likes of Adelaide and you look at the likes of Brisbane and just how fit they are, how quick they are, how intense they are. I can't wait for this AFLW final series. I think it's going to be the best that we've ever seen across the 6 seasons so far, and you really can't pick who's going to come away with that Premiership Cup, and that's the best thing about it.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Abs. Those top sides have really gone to another level this year. There's Paxman. Goes back into the middle of the ground, but Plains taken the mark. So the margin at 8 points. Coming up to 5 minutes gone in this last term. Mithen looks inboard. Which way now for Purcell? Told to go straight through the middle of the ground. Dangerous, Plain able to get the spoil on. Hanks fires that little hand pass. Pound though, back to Hill, to Egan. Loads up to send them inside 50. It's bounced off the chest of Pearce. Burst under pressure now. She's tackled to the ground. And the umpires found the free.
Holding the ball.
So, Shearer kicked one from a pretty similar position. So chance to kick another and to cut the margin to 2 points. A little bit of breeze at her back. Has it got the carry? Not quite, off hands. And through for a behind.
This is huge, isn't it, for the Blues? As we know, this is their final quarter of football in season 2022. The 7-point ball game. They're bringing the heat, they're bringing the pressure. The D's are under the pump, there's no doubt about it.
A little short kick in from Lampard finds West. She gets it back. And goes up towards Scott. She has it spoiled away from her by Trudgeon. And Jonesy, Carlton can just throw caution to the wind. Not to say it doesn't matter if they win or not, but the pressure is really on the D's.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's how much that plays a part in how this game's unfolding. Who knows? It's really to do sort of with the mental psyche of things. But ultimately, Carlton can just, as you said, not so, just throw caution to the wind, really, and play freely. And, yeah, look, they may steal one here.
Stevens lost her footing at the worst time, but they're under pressure here, the D's defenders. And Mimi Hill's just stolen that one, got the hand pass out. Looking for G. She's flung out of it. A little hand pass to Purcell, and a good smother to keep it in the area.
Ultimately, for me, and as I think for all watchers, this is what you want. You want a tight game, whether it's top of the table teams or, as we see here, a team vying for a final spot and a team not. We love close games.
Pearce down in front, got it towards West, then tried to do the work at ground level. Hoare finds the run of Purcell into the middle of the ground. McNamara is quick, but she went without the footy. Putting the pressure on now, Walker. Harrington trying to get away from McNamara. Pearce able to effect the kick. Tackled to the deck is Pound, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. So just 7 minutes to go in this one. And the margin at 7 points. Moody tapped down. Prasparkas under a lot of pressure. O'Day able to get the kick. Birch battling against Stevens. That's turned into an interesting encounter. Birch holds on to Stevens. A clearing kick by McNamara. Dangerous position though. D's with the numbers. But Lampard flung to the deck. What a wonderful tackle. She might look to move it quickly, Jones. Otherwise, she's going to have to kick a goal from outside 50. Perhaps now waiting to spot up a target. Decides to go long. Who's underneath? Stevens with a good jump, but has three around her off the deck. Oh, she slotted it. She has. Almost drop kick style. Stevens has got her third.
4 against 1.
Well, it is on here at Casey Fields. We've got a 1-point ball game with 6 minutes to go in the final quarter. But Nicola Stevens, she's an opportunist, there's no doubt about it. 3 goals, 1 behind here tonight. She was outnumbered by D's defenders, but still made it count. Quality passage of play for Carlton.
Moody just goes with a huge punch from the centre. Prasparkas puts the tackle on. A little hand pass by Hoare, and no one in particular. Mithen just goes off the deck for grass, and the race is on. Look at them come. Another little toe poke towards the boundary line. Well done by Sheriff, who kept her feet. Prasparkas just bursting through on Mithen. Both hard at the footy.
We mentioned that Moody-Pearce battle.
Yeah.
She's having a real influence in the centre bounce. They're starting to really surge out there and take ground and challenge Melbourne's defence.
Might get the clearance here again, the Blues. They do the little bend around the corner from Shearer. Vesio charging at the footy. Goldrick, almost friendly fire against Colvin. Little hand pass out towards Paxman, who is happy to see that one over.
21 disposals for Karen Paxson here tonight, and she's actually cracked the 1,000 disposals as well. Only Ebony Marinoff has done that as well earlier in the season, so you knew that as soon as Marinoff got there, that Paxman would not be far behind. So congratulations to Karen Paxman, 1,000 disposals in the AFLW.
Such a class act. As Guerin tries to burst her way through, there she is. Another disposal. Melbourne clearing up towards Harris. Trudgeon just too strong, gets rid of her. Playing with the footy, the umpire's found a free kick off the ball. It's too high. It's coming back to Harrington. Both coaches coaching from the bench down in front of us. Nick Stanier and Daniel Harford could almost eyeball each other.
Yeah, Jonesy, what do you do from a Melbourne perspective? All of the momentum, very good hands there, but all the momentum with the Blues at the moment, and it's a one-point ball game, so what are you doing?
I think it's really important they're remaining composed. You can get frazzled and anxious, and that tension can build. I think that they're good enough to win. That's why they're in the position they're in. They just need to, I guess, weather the storm and build back some momentum in their game.
So the umpires let the footy move. Mithen off to Paxman, comes back inside, sees something she likes inside 50. McNamara over the back to Hoare, a known goal kicker, goes towards goal, playing back there, it'll trickle over the boundary line. And it will double their margin. So perhaps a handy point, we'll have to wait and see. As the cheers for Melbourne ring out at Casey Fields as Pound goes for distance, wants good, she's against Pearce. Did well to get a hand in the end. Good as she was out-muscled. Goldrick tackled to the deck. That's holding the footy. And they've just decided to go quickly. Egan, perhaps a little rush of blood there, Jonesy. And Colvin.
Yeah, in a game like this, when it's so tight, the team that's most composed, most well-drilled, and just executes fundamentally is the team that'll win.
Gay goes long, wants Pearce. Moody flies from the front, did well not to give away a free kick. Scott at ground level, little hand pass off towards Paxman. The Blues with the numbers inside 50, but it's what they can do with the footy now. Egan unable to reel it in. Pearce, a strong body over the footy. Got rid of her and somehow got rid of the footy. Moody against Hanks. Pearce again crashing body in at ground level. Wrapped up by a couple of Blues though.
I love that's the challenge of the game. Can you bring the heat and the fire and the energy, but still have the calmness in the mind to be able to execute?
So just over 2 minutes to go in this one. Egan spun a couple of times in the tackle.
And we spoke earlier in this match, didn't we, about Melbourne not being challenged over the last couple of weeks. So this is big for them on the eve of a final series to have a 2-point advantage with less than 2 minutes to go in a game of footy. This is a test for them.
Here goes Aloifi, a bounce through the middle. We want to mark underneath. Nothing doing. Vesio needs to at least lock it in, even the score here. So they'll have a minute 40. Women's footy, the clock stops for stoppages inside the last 2 minutes. So hard in mouth stuff. The 2-point margin. O'Day, a little poke out towards Vesio. Puts the shepherd on, wanted Prasparkas to pick it up. She gets there now, tackled straight away by Goldrick and tackled too high. Prasparkas decides to go quickly, goes for distance. Stevens underneath. That in there too, they're all back there in the goal square. Even Pound.
Came off so cleanly, I thought she kicked it for 50 then.
So what can they do? Moody flies high, comes down with the footy out the back. Heath under pressure. G gets bumped off the footy. Pound goes in, she's wrapped up.
Every player on the ground is inside the Carlton forward 50.
Moody and Pearce, could this be the moment? Prasparkas tried to bend it round the corner. It's still in play and now trickles over the boundary line. So this throw-in will it, I guess, gets the ball in a better position for Carlton.
Yeah.
There's Harford yelling instructions.
All eyes
on the
on Maddie
bench.
Prasparkas now. You've got to stick to her like a glove in this situation.
Moody wants front spot, but Pearce gets there. Vesio on the left, up and under. No mark taken. Goldrick. Well, she's flung. She didn't get rid of the footy. Oh, Vesio is going to have a shot to win the game.
It was a congested forward line. Have a look at the emotion on Darcy's face. They know what this means.
Whew. We've heard from Nathan Jones how hard it is to kick goals from this pocket.
It's the pocket.
So with 25 seconds on the clock, Vesio hangs it out to the right. It's not going to be a goal. Off hands. And it's trickled over.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a finish.
They might have one more shot.
16 seconds to go.
So the umpire's just conferring. Perhaps whether it's behind post or whether it definitely went through. So all they've got to do is hold on to the footy here, Melbourne.
Couldn't be in better hands either, could it?
So Daisy Pearce has kicked 2 goals and now will kick in. Will go for distance, wants Pearce. McAvoy in the way. Oh, wonderful mark taken by Gay.
Clutch mark from Maddie Gay. As you can just see, she's going long. 5 seconds to go. Diesel win.
It'll be a sigh of relief as the siren sounds. They got there by the smallest of margins.
It's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem.